Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have another cool, unique purchase. I purchased another abandoned vehicle along with some contents of some storage units and whatnot. This one's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait to show you guys. A little cold where I am. I'm in Northern Ontario, but here we are. There she is. I believe it's a 98 Dodge Ram 2500 with the Magnum V10. Unfortunately, no Cummins, but this thing, I was told, was sitting for about 4 years. This was a former roofer, I assume, but that's what the property manager told me. But this thing's been sitting for quite some time, so the body is absolutely rotted beyond belief, as you can see. Looks like there's a spray foam and Bondo special here. Anyway, but this truck was purchased for only $500. So, I mean, how can you really lose? Just the weight itself at this truck gonna pay it off and then some. So let's go ahead and see what we can find in this truck. So I was told just the driver's door is opened. There's no keys, so we're gonna have to figure out something with that. And oh my goodness, it's thick. Wow, that's awesome. That just got 10 times more cooler. It's a friggin' pigsty in here. The guy must have been living in here or something like that. There's blankets and clothes and a whole lot of junk. What's the mileage on this thing here? See if I can clear that up there. 414,000 kilometers. Wow. It's seen its fair share of action, that's for sure. Thank God the parking brake isn't engaged. One less thing to be seized. It's in neutral. There's a whole lot of shit. I should probably be wearing gloves to go through this. Give me a sec. Okay, gloves equipped. We're climbing in. Hold your breath. Clothes. We got some tools here. Are we looking at a murder here or something? More clothes. Oh, the airbox. Oh, looks like there's some XXX movies there. We're not going to show that, unfortunately. YouTube won't let me post it. There's some license plates. Anything in the glove box? I see some parts and some pulleys on the dashboard here. Let's get this open. Oh, wow. There goes the glove box. Check out these flip phones. Wow, that's amazing. What else is in here? A lot of garbage. We have a hairbrush here. Brake pads, more parts. It's a 4x4 as well. That's awesome. Any of you Canadians out there, when's the last time you saw a Tim Hortons cup of this era? It's been at least 20 years. As I'm climbing out, my foot just destroyed part of the rocker panel. There's been a good old foam job done in here. No surprise with that. Let's go in the back here. The amount of garbage is unbelievable. Beer, Canadian Tire money, small business opportunities. Yes, look at that. Can learn a lot from this guy. I don't think this thing's seen the road for a long time. This was more for storage than anything, but apparently the guy just disappeared. So hopefully he's not dead or anything like that, but by the looks of it, that may be the case. So let's take a quick look at the back here. I want to get in this box here. He's got a contractor cap on it, which surprisingly, the struts still hold. Looks like there's more garbage. We have a tailgate here. Looks like this was sold from a Suzuki dealer here. JD Coates, Suzuki. Shingles, okay, that definitely matches the roofing persona that the property manager told me about. We have floor jack, tire, looks like there's some parts, a ton of beer cans. Looks like this is a party we weren't invited to, guys. So I'm going to try and get this hood open with just one hand here. Oh my gosh, it is heavy. Ta-da, there it is, 8-liter V10. I don't know if this is the same Dodge Viper engine or block, or there's some interchangeable parts on here or something, but this one has seen its fair share of action, that's for sure. Well, there's an airbox, part of the airbox that's missing. It's in the cab. No battery, of course. Where's the dipstick on this thing? Here it is. See if there's anything in it. I mean, I guess you could call that oil. It looks more like old burnt diesel oil, but okay, yeah, it definitely smells watery and dirty and sludgy. But at least there's oil, so that's not the worst case scenario here. Let me get this thing back in here. There you go. So my plan for this truck, being that the battery's missing and I have no key, my plan is I'm going to take power from the unit over there, run some cables with my battery charger and charger pack. I want to get it on to the positive and negative battery post, okay? Cable ran from the building over there up to my big battery charger / booster to the positive negative battery cable. So my plan is just to see if we have life in general. Before I go any deeper with inflating the tires, with maybe seeing if the engine sees or anything like that, I want to just see if anything lights, anything pops up with just the power. So let's go ahead, switch this puppy on. Okay, you're buzzing. Dome light on, this is good. Okay, horn doesn't work. Lights do anything? Not seeing anything different right now. The truck, and obviously it's leaked out, it's corroded, it's completely flat, but the charger itself wasn't given enough juice to power anything up. But now we have lights, headlights work, taillights work. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step, give me enough confidence to seeing if the engine seized and getting some air in these tires. Through the upper part of the dash here, and I actually found the ignition key. I thought this was a GM key. It looks like a 90s GM key, but I put it in the ignition. It seems to fit. Can't even get it to turn over. Will it cycle though? I don't know. Try this one. Here we go. Okay, we got lights here. Check engine, maintenance, oil light on. Okay. Few pumps. Okay. Give a few fuel pump a few cycles here. I can't believe I actually got this to lights on here, everything. Okay, I'm hearing beeping. Should we try to fire it? Nope, nothing. Not enough juice. Battery showing 14 volts thanks to the battery charger, but we're getting... I'm hearing the fuel pump now. It's going to keep cycling it. I think we may actually be out of fuel. I did bring some fuel. I'm going to see if we can get it to fire. This marine battery that's dead isn't giving us the cranking power we need to get this whole girl turned over. So I'm going to swap this out. I have a spare battery. I'm going to put this into place of this, and we see if we get it to turn over. This thing, it doesn't necessarily work out. As you can see, there's a nasty hole in the fuel neck. So I'm just going to take a chance and see if I can get it just to start with some quick start in the intake. And the booster pack hooked up. I sprayed some ether in the intake. See if anything will happen. See? Unfortunately, nothing. I got the battery pack on max now. Let's see if we can get it to free up the pistons a little bit. We're getting some noises, some movement, but I don't think it's enough. We need to lubricate the cylinder walls. Unfortunately, it was at this moment I didn't realize that the mic died on me. I had just put ATF in the valve cover and began to rotate the engine by hand. I also didn't have the correct spark plug socket on me, nor did I have the correct socket for the crankshaft pulley bolt. So I rotated the engine via the alternator pulley bolt. It did indeed free up after several rotations. I had also resecured the battery terminals by gently hitting them on with a hammer and then tightening them down. I then proceeded to jerry-rig a fuel neck out of a plastic tube and a funnel to try and get some fresh fuel into the tank. Unfortunately, due to there being no original sound, the truck began to finally have a strong enough crank to possibly fire up. Even with spraying quick start in the intake, it did manage to fire off for a few seconds and then shortly die out. I believe due to the weak fuel pump and the bad gas, this would prevent the truck from actually coming alive. I then threw in the towel and decided to just drag it out. Okay, update here. Giving up on trying to fire this thing up. It did spit off earlier for a second or two, but unfortunately, due to the fuel delivery issue, the gas from the tank ain't reaching the pump. So I've ran out of gas, and I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. It's getting late in the day. I'm just going to drag this thing out with my Duramax. Just to recap, so far we dragged the Ram out of his parking spot, but unfortunately the rear axle is seized and the left rear tire does not hold air. The plan is to push the Ram with my buddy's 1500 Ram. Being that the front bumper is plastic, we are using the solid steel rear bumper to push it onto the trailer. The tires will cushion the impact and help prevent damage. My brother is also assisting via the winch to help load it on the trailer. It was at this point when we called it a day. It was getting dark, and after numerous failed attempts, we accepted the fact it was not getting on the trailer that night. Okay, guys, day 2 here. We called the day short yesterday because unfortunately we ran out of daylight, and we had a lot of trouble getting it on the trailer. So the rear axles are actually locked. We weren't able to free them up. So I used my Duramax, like in the earlier scene, to drag it out of the sinkhole that it was in. And then from there, I used my buddy's Dodge Ram, reversed it with a steel bumper, put a couple tires in between, and got it as far as this. So the truck is just starting to touch the trailer here. But unfortunately on this side, we developed a flat tire, as you can see, and it slipped off the ramp, so I was using wood. So finally, after pitch darkness and struggling with this ramp issue for a couple hours, we decided to leave it and come back in the morning. The property manager is okay with it. So today, day 2, went to go get some help, rented the skid steer to help lift the rear end of the truck and then push the remaining onto the trailer. So all we need is to get the center of this tire here. That's what we couldn't do yesterday. Unfortunately, it just would not move anymore. Combination of the locked rear end, the flat tire, and I don't want to damage my buddy's 1-year-old Dodge Ram. And we even tried dragging with my truck onto the trailer, and it still didn't move. So we need the lifting power of the skid steer and the sheer force of pushing it, the remaining 1 foot, onto the rest of the trailer. So stand by for some more action. That went a lot better than expected. The truck is finally on the trailer and strapped down the best it could be. I also needed to strap the hood closed, tie the driver's door from the inside because it doesn't latch, as well as tie the bed cap door. We just finished strapping the skid steer down. Of course, it being a rented unit, one of the latches for the ramps is damaged. I tied it back, so hopefully it doesn't drop down on the highway. So we're finally back from returning the skid steer to the local Home Depot. Now we came back for the trailer. This is our last return trip. We're going to be heading home now. The truck is secure for as best as I could. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Yeah, it's just most definitely one of the sketchiest strap jobs I've ever done. I'm hoping everything holds up. Well, we made it back to the yard in one piece. Thank God. That was the most sketchiest tow I've ever done. Every bump felt like a wave throughout the load. We also had to stop several times to fix the ratchet straps, but luckily nothing flew off. The last thing I wanted was someone getting hit by this water heater or any other garbage in the back of this truck. So that just wraps up the video of the Dodge Ram recovery. We tried getting it to fire, fired for a second, obviously wasn't going to drive out. Dragged it out of its sinkhole, used my buddy's truck to get it, well, 3/4 on the trailer, and then rented the skid steer to pick the rest of it up, load it on, and then transport it to my yard. Now, it was all a very unique experience. Looking back now, it was a lot of fun, but in the moment, there was some nervous times, so I'm just happy I have it here. I'm going to start parting it out. Overall, I'm happy with the situation. Just want to give shout outs to my brother Massimo. Thank you for helping me use a skid steer and everything like that. You were amazing. My buddy Tristan, thank you for your truck and helping me. Lastly, big shout out to Roadkill. That's one of the car shows that I grew up on, and thanks to them that it actually just helped inspire me to start my own page. So I'm very grateful for David Freiberger and Mike Finnegan. Whether they see this video or not, it doesn't matter to me. Part of what made me is growing up watching your videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks.